What is going on, guys? I am Eduardo Betancourt from the podcast Legend Killers. As you can probably hear from my voice, it's a little weak today. Not sure why. I'm not sick or anything, so oh well. Nothing to worry about. But anyway, let's get on with the Monday Night Raw after Mania review. This is Ed's solo podcast. Jordan couldn't be with me today. Neither could Capone, and I think I forgot to ask Crime, so whatever. Alright, so let's get started. So, the opening segment. This was a pretty good segment. It starts out with Vince cutting a promo, talking about how he respects Shane. He put over the match, saying, Shane, don't do it. And he was just admiring how much of a fool Shane was. And I'm speaking in kayfabe, of course, but this is basically what he was saying about Shane. So after a while, he puts over the WrestleMania match. He puts over the crowd a little bit, calls them crazy or something, and then after that, Shane McMahon comes out. He starts putting over the crowd even more. He praises them, says thank you to them. He shakes Vince's hand, and he just basically was giving his go away speech, I guess. And then before he left, Vince McMahon says, "Nobody upstages me, damn it," and he basically put him in charge of Raw. And after that, it cuts the commercial. From there, we see that New Day comes out cutting a great promo. The League of Nations come out. The title matches are on the line, and from what I remember, this match, it was a lot better than the Mania match because I was very antsy about it. This match itself, I wouldn't say there was like highlight after highlight. I know it was really fun with the crowd and all, but I think with everything else that happened this night, this was just the opening card, and it wasn't really anything special, except for afterwards, which was really something special. So the New Day retains, they leave off. Sheamus cuts he doesn't cut a promo, but he does get on the mic a little bit. He says, "We have our missing link," and they basically cut Bad News Barrett from the group. And from there, the Wyatt family comes out. Everybody expecting it to be Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. As you can tell from the crowd, they were chanting, "How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" But anyway, the Wyatt family comes out. They turn face, they attack and beat the living hell out of the League of Your Nations. After that, the League of Nations are beaten down. The Wyatt family is finally over. I think it was a very raucous crowd. There was a lot of people singing "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," and it was a good segment, especially for a Bray Wyatt fan who wants to see him get over. So he's a face now, and good for the Wyatt family. I hope they get a good rub off of this. So after that, custom commercial. Summer Rae comes out, and she cuts a promo talking about how Sasha Banks had an embarrassing loss, this, and that. And so after that, Sasha Banks comes out, slaps her in the face. They start their match, and then from what I remember from this match, it was pretty quick. There's nothing in particular to talk about. Sasha Banks won, making Summer Rae tap out. I didn't even remember it, if I'm being honest. So after that, you see Baron Corbin come out for his match against Dolph Ziggler. He cuts a nice promo saying, if you don't know who I am, I don't care. I am the man who won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And he was basically putting himself over, which is good. And then Dolph Ziggler comes out, and they have a pretty fun match. Personally, I like how it ended, where they got counted out, and Dolph Ziggler gets beaten the living hell out of by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was yelling at the referee, saying, "This is all your fault. This is all your fault." And he basically ends the segment off with hitting Dolph Ziggler with the End of Days. I like that Baron Corbin didn't get the immediate win. I think that Dolph Ziggler still has a lot in the tank to just be, being squashed out by everybody. I think when he lost to Tyler Breeze that one Survivor Series, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit, saying that they could really be doing more with Dolph Ziggler. And, being that he kicked out of the deep six when Baron Corbin hit it during the match, it's pretty good that they're giving him a rub, or not giving him a rub, but they're showing more versatility within his character. They're showing he has more fight as a wrestler. So after this match, WWE basically shows a little, a highlight package, I want to call it, of Apollo Crews announcing that he will debut next after commercial break. And so Tyler Breeze comes out, he does his entrance, and Apollo Crews comes out. Not really the reaction I expected, because this was a raucous crowd, but not too many people reacted to him, like gave him a big ovation. I would have expected a little more, but whatever, what are you gonna do? So Apollo Crews gets his chance to showcase. This was another fun match that just basically allowed Apollo Crews to showcase what he has. They showcased him doing the standing moonsault. They did that one transition where he goes off the ropes back to back and lands in front of Tyler, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure how to explain it, but hopefully one of you will know what I'm talking about. I noticed he did the toss powerbomb that he does a little bit differently. He just, instead of just doing a sit down variation, which I thought would have been a little bit better, it looks like it has more impact in my opinion. They just went with the regular toss powerbomb slam, which is still pretty good. And then 1, 2, 3, this match was over. Kind of obvious that Apollo Crews was going to win, but good that he was going to win. I think he needs a name for his toss powerbomb, like cruising around or something, because they literally go spin around. He spins his opponent and then slams him, and his name is Apollo Crews, so cruising around. I don't know. Like, if you look at AJ Styles, he has the Styles Clash. If you look at Sami Zayn, he has the Haluva Kick. Apollo Crews will not get over with sit out powerbomb or something like that, or just toss powerbomb. It sounds bland. It's lame. It's, as fun as an interesting guy as Apollo Crews is, his finisher needs a name. So I think cruising around could be a good name. So getting on to that, they also show another package showing Roman Reigns will come out and do something. Basically, he comes out and he's pretty much teasing his heel turn. And if it's not teasing, then he did turn heel, I guess. I don't know. Thankfully, they limited him on the mic. They took away that whole I'm funny, witty side out of him. They put a more serious side to Roman Reigns, and I'm pretty happy with that. It's a lot better. I honestly enjoyed the segment a lot more, being that he was just speaking from this perspective that I'm the guy, I'm this, I'm that, and good. I think it's much better to see that side of Roman Reigns than what we've been getting for a while now. From there, he announces an open challenge saying that if anybody wants it, come get it. So Chris Jericho comes out now talking about how he beat AJ Styles. He's saying that he demands the match happen. And then after that, AJ Styles comes out. You'd think he would cut a promo. Instead, Kevin Owens comes out, and he didn't even cut a promo. So Sami Zayn comes out, interrupts him, and basically Sami Zayn starts brawling with Kevin Owens, and Jericho starts brawling with AJ Styles. From there, Sami Zayn tosses Owens out of the ring. He does a suicide dive, or I believe just a flying plancha, something like that. After that, I'm not sure what happened with Jericho and AJ Styles. I think Jericho tosses AJ Styles out of the ring, or he hits him with the code breaker. Roman Reigns spears Jericho. The crowd boos Roman Reigns intensely, and then that was it. After that, I believe Shane announced that there was a fatal 4-way going on, which is the main event. AJ versus Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens versus Jericho. From there, we had Zack Ryder versus The Miz. Zack Ryder comes out, shows a picture of him and Scott Hall holding the title. He thanks his dad. Miz comes out, interrupts him, saying that Zack interrupted him from his moment, and basically they go into an quote-unquote impromptu intercontinental title match. It went on a little bit longer than I expected, but whatever. I'm not really a fan of either of these two. I didn't really care for the match that much. Like I said, Zack Ryder got a lot better off leaps and bounds. The match ends with his dad pushing The Miz, and then Maurice coming out of the crowd to slap his dad in the face, and Zack Ryder gets distracted. Miz pulls the skull-crushing finale off the distraction. 1, 2, 3. Miz is your new champion. Zack Ryder held the Intercontinental title for a day officially. After that, there was AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. They were all obviously separately interviewed. The reason I'm just kind of putting this all together is because, well, I don't remember when they did their segments each, but whatever. I'm just gonna put them all together. AJ Styles talks about how he wants the title. He's the phenomenal one. Chris Jericho, I don't really remember what he said. Kevin Owens talking about how Sami Zayn will never leave him alone. Sami Zayn comes out talking about how he needs the win. He needs the WWE title. He needs this. He needs that. And then Kevin Owens comes out, attacks him, powerbombs him through a table. After that, it's announced that Sami Zayn will not be able to compete for the main event at Raw tonight or yesterday. Next, we had the Women's Championship coronation. I think that's what they called it. So basically, they have every single diva on the roster, literally every single diva on the roster, on the main roster, that is. The crowd went nuts for Bayley, which I thought she would have debuted on the main roster. I mean, it's a little weird. Even Michael Cole acknowledged that Bayley wasn't there tonight, and it was weird because normally the commentators don't really acknowledge when somebody's going to return, or they don't really acknowledge it if they don't return it. So, for Michael Cole to say something on the internet, or not on the internet, just on commentary, acknowledge the Bayley chant, say Bayley isn't here tonight, you would have expected maybe that could have been a swerve or whatever. That would have been the perfect time towards it, but whatever. I didn't really let that overshadow the segment because the segment was pretty good. Charlotte just inflated her own ego. I kind of expected her turning face because the way the promo started a little bit, it did sound a little face-ish, but then the more the promo went on, the more you see a more heelish side to Charlotte. I do like how she reacts to the crowd. I like that she acknowledged the chants, she acknowledged all that stuff. She may have stopped like a few times, like kind of let the crowd stop her a little bit, but whatever. Honestly, it was a good segment because she basically turned every single thing the crowd was chanting or cheering and just kind of said F you to the crowd and just kind of said, this is my moment, not yours. And she just kind of went and, what am I saying? And she basically just inflated her own ego, like I keep saying. one thing I liked was how she started wooing at the end. She was just like, woo, 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 and like kind of dancing to it. And I just found it pretty funny. So I like Charlotte as a heel. Good review in my book, Charlotte as a heel. I'm totally happy that they kept the title on her, being that she had this segment. Of course I still wanted Becky to win. What am I gonna lie now? Nah. So yeah, after that, you kind of see Becky Lynch just step up to her, angrier, looking like she's about to murder Charlotte, which I was excited for, because, you know, why not? Another Becky Charlotte match. Becky's a great wrestler. These two have had great matches. Why not? But instead, they all end up leaving, every single diva except Natalya. Curse my tongue. Every single woman, every single superstar, except Natalya stays out there, and she starts talking about how you may be genetically superior, but I have the heart of a champion. And they teased Charlotte versus Natalya, which is a good segment. Honestly, in my opinion, this was A+ work. This was a good way to show how good of a heel Charlotte really is. Personally, I have no complaints about this segment at all. I do have that minor nitpick that Bayley should have came out there, but you know, maybe they have something planned, because if that wasn't the perfect time, then they must have something planned for Bayley for when she does come up to the main roster. So, you know, just a matter of time. But, you know, that had nothing to do with the segment, so I can't really complain about this segment. Charlotte, I think, took a sharpshooter, or she, like, escaped the sharpshooter, but Natalya tried to put a sharpshooter on Charlotte. So if you guys can let me know in the comment section below what really happened there, that'd be appreciated. It was a good segment. It lasted about, like, let's say 10 minutes. It was good. I enjoyed it anyway. After that, you had the Usos versus the Dudley Boys, and finally the long-awaited rumor happened. But we'll get to that after this match. This match was pretty fun for the most part. It seemed a bit rehearsed, because it was pretty rehearsed. That's what it looked. That's just my only nitpick about this one. The Usos lost. Dudley Boys won. I love Bubba Ray as a heel. I was completely against the Dudleys turning heel, because I just thought that would ruin them. And to some extent, it kind of did. But I think Bubba Ray Dudley as a heel, Devon Dudley as a heel, they both have really good work as a heel or face, so good for them. The show cuts to commercial, and then I believe Dudley Boys are still out there. They probably cut like a long promo or something, but they come out, they leave the ring, and just as they leave the ring, the long-awaited call-up to the main roster, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy come up, and man, did they put on a good segment. They showed that they have really good mic skills, and which was good, because they cracked up a lot of jokes about Devon, especially. They did pretty good. Now we see where the direction of their first feud is going. Obviously, Amore and Cass versus the Dudley Boys, which my hat's off to this one. This was also another A+ segment. They cap off the segment with Colin Cassidy spelling it out for them, so to speak, SAWFT, and that ended their segment. From here, we have the Fatal 4-Way, which was best match of the night. The commentators announced that Sami Zayn won't be able to compete. But getting to the match itself, Very good match. Cesaro comes out. Oh man, the ovation. The ovation for Cesaro was amazing. It was a very good match. They showed segments, especially of AJ Styles versus Cesaro. They kind of showed like a glimpse of what those two could do together. They showed that those two have good chemistry. Cesaro didn't really have too much ring rust. He didn't have any, really. So that's good. One thing I liked about this match was, the glimpse of everyone versus everyone. They showed a glimpse of Cesaro versus Jericho. They showed a glimpse of Cesaro versus Owens. They showed a glimpse of Styles versus Owens, Styles versus Cesaro. I don't think they really showed us Jericho versus Owens, but if they did, they did. But, they gave a glimpse of everything, minus Jericho versus Owens, I think. But that's good. It was a great match. At the end, just when I least suspected AJ Styles won off the Styles Clash, I didn't expect him to win off of it for some reason. But all the other false finishes had me fooled like nothing. So, I guess that's on me. So yeah, it was a great way to end off the night and segment match. Okay, it was a great way to end off Raw. So overall, I give the Raw after Mania an A, in my opinion. Well, an A minus. I don't really grade that much. My only two nitpicks was the New Day versus League of Nations, and what was the other match? New Day versus League of Nations, and I don't know, I guess that's just it. But yeah, that was just kind of it, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it was good. It was a good show. Very good show. And I hope with all the new top stars that they have, that they shouldn't have too many bad Raws in the following months to come. I hope they keep it an overall good year. We'll just wait and see what happens.